Hey, welcome to the show. What's up, Ryan?
What's up, man?
I'm pissed
Why?
because Grimace is all of a sudden helping the Mets win baseball games.
I knew that this was,
and I don't even care that they swept the Padres. That's one thing in its own.
A lot of teams are doing that.
Okay, well, a lot of bad teams. If we were to go play the Dodgers right now, we'd probably take the series.
Sure.
Okay, but Grimace throws the first pitch at a Mets game, and now all of a sudden the Mets are gods.
You know, you asked me. There's a little inside baseball here. Joel asked me before the episode, "Hey, is there anything that you want to talk about, like on air?" And I said no, even though this is what I wanted to talk about because I knew you were going to bring it up. Because last night you messaged me and used a lot of insensitive words to describe how upset you are about this whole Grimace and Mets situation.
I liked Grimace. I liked him.
Oh, wait, are you out on Grimace now? Because
right now,
you're out on Grimace.
I'm out on Grimace.
Oh, that's not okay.
Why is that not okay?
This is a problem. You can't have this. Like, no. This
okay, what if Mark Teixeira came out right now and said, you know what? The Toronto Blue Jays are my favorite baseball team.
That's fine. He helped us win a World Series. I'll get over it. Yeah.
I'm sure.
I would. I wouldn't like it. How did you? It's very perceptive of you to know that I'm like the biggest Mark Teixeira
You are.
fan
You're probably the
there.
only person who's a Mark Teixeira
Most
fan.
people don't like him very much.
Yeah, I mean, look at him.
I read
his face.
I read a book about the 2009 World Series team, and most of the people in there were like, "Yeah, we like Tex. He's a cool dude. He's a very straight arrow kind of guy. And just like kind of does his own thing, goes home to his wife and kids." And I was like, "All right, well, thanks for the autographed baseball, Mark. I appreciate it."
Listen, here's what matters. I think what really pushed it over the edge is what I sent you last night.
Yeah,
that
you were not
McDonald's changed their profile photo to Grimace wearing a Mets hat.
Yeah.
And then their banner, everything on like McDonald's is just all in on Grimace is saving the Mets.
They're going all in on it.
And that's making me upset.
So
I'm boycotting McDonald's until at least the next time.
So are you more upset about the Padres losing to the Mets, or are you more upset about McDonald's going fully behind
Listen,
it?
I don't care about the Mets sweeping us because at the end of the day, they're not making the playoffs. They're losers. Their fans are losers. They all think, oh, it's the Mets. It's our season. At least when we say that, we make the playoffs and do something with it, not losing a wild card round.
Damn.
Okay?
Yeah.
The Mets can be whatever the hell they want. They're going to miss the wild card spot by like 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
Us, we're going on a skid right now. I don't care. We're still going to claim one of those wild card spots. It doesn't matter.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
So
how many? What is it? Are the Mets 7-0 now since Grimace threw out the first pitch as of this recording?
They're playing, I think, right now.
Yeah. Okay.
So
as of I know they're playing the Cubs now, and the Cubs stink.
Yeah,
the Cubs stink.
But listen, it's very frustrating. Grimace, I thought you were on my side. I thought you were someone I could trust, and this hurts.
We've always said that like you give Grimace energy back in the day, and now I think you're kind of out on that.
Now Grimace is giving the Mets energy.
What does Grimace have to do to get you back on his side? Do the Mets just have to lose a game? Is that all that needs to happen?
I just want it all to stop.
So it's just
like
I just
the
want all
moment
of it
the
to
Mets
end,
lose a game, and then it's like everyone's like and they move on to the next thing.
Yeah,
I think I'll be fine.
You're good after that.
I think I'm okay with that.
Okay, Grimace is okay with you after that.
Sure.
All right.
But
that didn't spark confidence. I'll be perfectly honest. I feel like you're going to harbor a little more resentment towards him.
Listen, it at least it's not like the In-N-Out mascot didn't upset me. You know what I mean?
Who is that?
There isn't one, so it can't upset me.
That's true. Yeah, it's like the Yankees. No mascot.
And why did it have to be Grimace? If it was Ronald, I'd have been like, okay, sure, he looks like Jerry Seinfeld.
Well, it's because you love Grimace.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
Grimace.
makes me mad.
Yeah, it's a Grimace and a Hamburglar squad over here. We love those. If the Hamburglar was involved, I would be upset too. So I get it.
I don't know.
But it would be funnier if it was him because it's like he stole good talent from other teams and gave it to the Mets.
It's literally like Grimace is like the Monstars.
Yeah, it's what it's like. Yeah. Who do you think he stole the talent from?
Us. We were doing all right. We were doing all right that week leading into that series, and then not so much.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what the Cubs can do against them.
Anyway, moving from one sad topic to another. This is our last episode in this studio.
It's a big moment for us.
We've enjoyed our time here. Hopefully, we're going to be finding another studio, or maybe who knows? Maybe we'll just start recording at home. I mean, that can be fun and cozy. Yeah, we have options. Yeah. We'll see what we decide to do.
We do have some options.
We do have options. Yeah. Options. Got a lot of options. I think this is kind of a good time for us to maybe take a look back at some of the memories we've made here with a quick little montage.
I'd like to see that.
Let's go and take a look.
Roll the clip.
Wow. We had a lot of fun here.
Josh did a good job putting that together.
Great
for
job,
us.
Josh.
We
Thank
appreciate you, Josh.
Behind
the camera, Josh, wave. Thanks, buddy.
Dork. Yeah, I mean, we've had some good times here, but you have to move on at some point, and that's time for us to move on. So
it's a quick move on.
It is. We got a grand total of 7 episodes in here, 8 episodes, whatever it was.
It's to be determined, I guess.
I don't know. But speaking of moving on, I've had enough chit chat.
Yeah.
Let's get into the topic.
I'm excited. Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
So, I mean, I try to wear like apparel that kind of leans into the topic of the episode. This one doesn't leave much to the imagination. I don't like if you can see it on camera. There's just a lot of random Nickelodeon characters on here. We had a fun story about how we got this. We actually got this from a Nickelodeon character himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we went to
I'm actually pissed.
Have we told this story?
I think so.
Yeah, about
might have.
Our adventures at Comic-Con in 2022.
Yeah.
Went to see Tom Kenny and his band perform live beforehand to rile up the crowd. We were like the first people there too, which was funny.
There were a lot of people trying to like talk to us like strangers.
It's true, yeah.
It was like, okay, cool, like whatever, like hi. But then they were like those kind of people that kind of stuck with you the whole night.
They
it was
did,
like,
They're nice people.
Yeah, they were nice.
But we were here for one
trying
reason,
to do our
one
own
reason
thing
only,
and hang out with Tom Kenny.
Yeah, which we got to do. Yeah, he gave us a personal shout out during Best Day Ever, which is great.
Yeah.
But before the show started, they were trying to liven up the crowd a little bit, so they started tossing these Roosevelt's button downs out to everybody. I actually didn't catch this shirt. You caught this shirt.
Yeah, and I think I've told you this before. Still mad to this day that I gave you that shirt because what size? That's an XL.
It's an XL, yeah.
And you cut a large.
I did, which
and
I
you
would
were like,
fit in better.
And
now.
you were like, let's swap. These run kind of small. This XL is probably more like a standard large.
Yeah.
Because that large was like not a large.
No, it's tight.
And luckily, I mean, it's like a flexible material.
Yeah.
But then it like flexes around all your lumps, and it's just not appealing.
Not flattering.
So I am bummed I gave you that shirt. I did like the whole thing where you like move the buttons over on the Star Wars shirt so it like fit a little better.
Oh, you told me you were doing that. Yeah,
I'll wear it like open like that, like if I'm going to like a Star Wars event or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
But for the most part, it just sits in my closet.
I thought your reason was going to be because you're just not as big of like you're more of a Nickelodeon fan than a Star Wars fan.
No, I mean that's it. The Star Wars shirt is a cool.
No.
The Star Wars shirt is a cool shirt.
Not me. I would never be that.
Star Wars? Huh? Can't wait to ruin this.
Oh, we're gonna get copywritten for that.
Sorry.
Yeah. Maybe we might actually
just some dead air so we can cut to that.
We can't talk anymore.
No, I'm just jealous because you actually have one that you could wear.
I mean, you might be able to wear the other one eventually. I know you're working hard, so
yeah. But I mean, honestly, like, I don't know.
He's just like, I don't care.
Yeah, whatever.
I've only worn this a couple of times. I wore it here. I wore it to last year's Comic-Con. And I think that's it.
Yeah. Last year's Comic-Con where there wasn't a VIP party.
No, so we just left.
Bad job by you. I mean, please have us back.
Yeah. We just left, right?
Yeah. We said, that was fun.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Yeah, it is literally what it was. Yeah, we were like, hey, all right, it's time to go. But I digress.
I digress.
I digress.
No, I digress.
Okay. Well,
you digress.
Since I have all of these Nicktoons on my shirt, clearly I'm going to be referring to one of the famed Nicktoons of yore that we love to discuss all the time. And there's so many that could show up on this show. But
Johnny Bravo, Ed, and Eddie.
Wrong channel. Incorrect.
Kids Next Door.
Still wrong.
Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
I think that's wrong as well. Give me one more.
Samurai Jack.
Perfect. All right. Then we'll end on that one. But I don't want to just do the entirety of the shows on this because I think there's some standout episodes in particular of these shows that I think would be more fun to just fully break down on their own. And that's what we're going to do here. The show in question, I would argue, is the OG Nicktoon.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Like, I know there's another one that launched on the same day. But that one.
And there were others that came before.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think
this is what people think of. Yeah. For those of you watching at home, we're going to give you 5 seconds to figure it out. Put it in the comments.
Say go.
Say go. Say go.
Go.
Go. All right, that's it. Did you guess it?
That was not 5 seconds.
It was if we slow it down.
Okay.
In
Speed it up?
No, we slow it down in post.
slow. I got you.
Yeah, slow it down in post. It'll
Josh.
be 5 seconds. Yeah, good. Take notes, Josh. No, of course, I'm talking about Rugrats.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Rugrats is the OG. Fun fact, and you might not believe this, Rugrats is older than I am. See, I knew you wouldn't believe it.
You're trying to tell me you were a Rugrat at some point?
I was a Rugrat when Rugrats was on. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool to think about.
It.
I think that's actually pretty cool.
I don't believe it.
To be a baby when the most popular show ever about babies existed.
What about Muppet Babies?
It's still.
What about Greendale Babies?
I didn't watch Greendale Babies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Greendale Babies.
Muppet Babies is like a close second, but I think Rugrats is the.
I was
the
about
OG.
to say something right now about Muppet Babies.
Okay.
But it would have involved giving someone a shout out who's gotten a shout out on I think the last 4 episodes.
Yeah, we can't do that.
And this person also made a comment the other day saying, "Oh, I guess I'm just going to get a shout out every episode,"
So
they're now technically getting another
they
shout
know,
out.
They know
Why am I doing
they know they're getting a shout
They
out.
know they're getting a shout out,
Yeah.
and I already know they're going to text the group chat that we're in that they're getting another shout out.
Even though we're not fully
shouting them
they
out.
Know.
But it had to do with Muppet Babies, and I'm going to leave it at that. And if they want to, they could text me and say.
Not a lot of people just bring up Muppet Babies on daily conversation. So
they
should.
Not everyone.
Yeah, but they should.
I usually start my Monday meetings with some Muppet Babies.
I would.
Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Muppet Babies.
No, you don't say it like they sing it in the theme song?
No, I just say Muppet Babies.
Yeah. Well, that cadence is a little close to how they do it in the theme song. Yeah.
I think
Muppet Babies.
Muppet Babies.
That's pretty close, yeah.
Greendale Babies.
Another Nickelodeon vehicle for a little bit.
Greendale Babies?
No, not Greendale Babies. No. It was on Nick Jr.
Yeah, well, so was the Cosby Show. The Cosby Show.
It was on, what did they used to call that on Nickelodeon?
Nick at Night?
Yeah, that was it.
I love me some Nick at Night.
Sitcoms.
Nowadays, Nick at Night is just, hey, here's every episode of Friends.
Yeah, it's true. They kind of.
I think they run through the entirety of Friends every 4 days.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Like they're just playing the episode back.
They used to have Cosby was on there, Brady Bunch was on there, and that's it.
For a little while, everybody hates Chris.
Yeah. George Lopez was on there. Yeah. There you go. Get into it. Don't break the chair. That's a real song too.
You were supposed to do the lyrics.
All night, is that it?
No, those aren't words.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Do they say words in the theme?
Yeah.
Song? I don't know. It's Lowrider, right?
Yeah.
Low Rider, like Flow Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I saw Flo Rida after an Angels game.
Just outside?
No, a concert.
Oh, that's cool. Well,
I did make it sound like I saw him outside.
That was outside though.
Huh? No, it was in the dugout.
In the dugout.
There was only 6 of us.
Yeah. Including him.
Yeah. Anyway, Rugrats.
Yeah. So there's gonna be probably other episodes of Rugrats that we're gonna want to touch on in later episodes. But I thought this one, when I first went through the process of thinking of topics for the show, this particular episode spoke to me. And I don't know why, but this was just the one that just popped into my head. And this was months ago, and I watched it. I found it on YouTube. So shout out to the YouTuber who put that on there.
Watched I have to say something about that later.
And great. And I was like, this is so fun and so good. And it's great. And interesting enough, Paramount Plus has all the old Nicktoons on there.
Yeah.
This episode's not on there. I would have just watched it on there. But for some reason, it's missing.
Probably because of the racism.
Well, I think it's probably a copyright thing.
Oh, maybe.
Because of one of the songs that they use in it. I would imagine that's
the case. I did think was odd rewatching this. I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about this. Right? It's kind of weird that they did that.
It is, yeah. But I think that's got to be the reason, I would imagine.
Maybe, yeah.
So if you haven't figured out what episode I'm referring to yet, its title is very simple. I'm pretty sure when the thing pops up with the title card for the show, I think it just says vacation.
Just says vacation.
Just vacation, yeah, like National Lampoons.
Yep.
So it's the Rugrats vacation episode where everybody goes to Vegas. You're a much bigger Vegas person than I am.
And I'm even still barely a Vegas person.
I've never even been to Vegas.
I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, you know what? I don't think Ryan's ever been.
Nope.
And it's funny because
I haven't even really driven through it.
Something that's super relatable for me to this episode is, not the episode of the show, but the episode of not the episode of our show, the episode of Rugrats.
Yeah.
My dad is a bowler. He bowls every Friday, and his league always has their finals in Vegas.
Yeah.
So growing up, we didn't go every year, but my sister and I joined my parents to Vegas maybe 2 or 3 times. And it was just like a weekend trip. We'd drive up Friday, like they'd take us out of school early. We would drive up, we'd go Friday, Saturday, and then we'd come back Sunday afternoon.
Sure.
So watching this episode, it was very like reminiscent of that, of like, oh yeah, like we were also these little kids who didn't quite understand the allure of Vegas.
Yeah.
We had to kind of figure out
I'm still that
what
kid.
was in it for us,
Yeah.
you know?
Does this do a good job of clearing that up?
No.
No, not really.
I will say, though, like you just touched on it right now. My thing with Vegas, and I know when I say this, everyone says, well, that's the case anywhere. Vegas is a place that you go to spend money.
True.
And it's
Or
just like
win it.
everything is expensive there, right? Yeah, you can gamble and maybe win some money. I have lots of friends who will go and easily drop $900, $1,000 on a weekend trip to Vegas and maybe win that back and come out even, maybe lose it, maybe win more money. But like for me, I would much rather go and say, hey, I'm going to drop $300 on this meal at this chef's restaurant who doesn't have a restaurant in LA or whatever it is, and know that I'm getting something out of it than to play. I play. Yeah. I'll go play slots, video poker. I know how to play blackjack, but I'm too scared to go to the tables.
It's scary.
I'll go play games, but like $100.
Yeah.
Once I lose that, I'm done. If I win, I'll pocket that 100 and play with my winnings or whatever. I kind of play with what I keep that $100, and win or lose, that's what I'm playing
I was gonna
with.
ask you this. Are you the type that goes into like a weekend at Vegas saying, I have this much allotted for gambling.
Yeah.
And when it's gone, I'm done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll kind of go in, and if it's a weekend, maybe I'll say $150.
Right, but you have the number.
Right. But it's usually like, okay, $100. And like I said, let's say I put $100 in the slot machine.
It's like $50 a day, basically.
And I say, okay, I won $45. Cash that, put my original 100 back in my pocket, and I play that 45.
Right, yeah.
If I lose that 45,
you're done.
I can go back to that 100 if I want
to.
to.
Okay, yeah.
Or I get to say whatever.
So your mentality is, if down $100 is as far as I'm going to go. Yeah, I think that's the right way to do it.
Play on house money. If I'm playing on house money, cool. And then if not, then I'm willing to lose $100.
Yeah.
But I'd much rather be playing, like I said, on house
money.
All
of my like entrances into gambling, like whether it's like craps, blackjack, roulette, any of that, or just even the slots, I've done all those things, just never in Vegas.
Yeah.
So like the
Midwest has more casinos.
It's not even
scattered
it's not
around,
even there. Like,
or Jersey.
It would be it's like I went to Atlantic City once, and it was like not that long ago. It's really like on vacation, and like whether like I went on a cruise ship with my family one time. Like that was, I think my uncle's still in the casino on that boat. I haven't seen him since, I don't think so. And then like in like Bahamas, like on vacation, because I went there when I was like 18 or 19, and it's legal.
You could drink and casinos and all that.
Yeah. Not that I did any of those things. Yeah, didn't do any of those things, but I could watch. I could hang out. I did play the sports books though, which I was actually used to be really good at. Now I'd be terrible.
Yeah.
And I have no desire to do any of like the sports betting on my phone and anything like that. Like none of that.
Yeah, I do a little bit here and there, but again, I play on house money, right? If I were to get you to join the app that I use, I get $25 out of it.
Yeah.
I play that $25. Once I lose it, I'm done. I had to make an initial deposit when I joined, but I've never added more money. I've only played on free money. During Christmas, they gave everyone like $50 in playthrough credit. Yeah. It's like, I'll play that, but I'm not going to add more money.
I get that. So that's kind of what the depiction of Vegas is, just from hearsay.
Yes.
But child Ryan, who watched this special, all he thought about was like, whoa, they got like indoor like Swiss Alps in here you can ski on, and like these big roller coasters, which they have like roller coasters and stuff out there. And
two roller coasters.
Is it just two?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, a cool one in the show.
I'm trying to think. No, technically there's 3.
Yeah, and then like big Viking boats. I want to know which hotel they were portraying.
I think it was a combination of a few.
Is there a Viking hotel in Vegas?
No.
Okay, because that would be cool.
But there's the Venetian, which has the gondolas. The Venetian does have gondolas where you can hop on and they will
ride around,
take you around and sing to you and whatever. the paddling crooners.
Yeah. Okay.
The Swiss Alps thing, the only thing that's somewhat close to that, I don't remember this. I think it closed. I think I went to Vegas when it was still around, but I don't remember it. There used to be a store in there called the Grand Canyon store. that literally you walked in and it looked like you were in the Grand Canyon. And it just sold like a bunch of like, very like Arizona-y Native American like wares. But it looked like the Grand Canyon diorama on the Disneyland Railroad, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could picture with the Alps. I don't know if there was something before that I don't remember.
Be cool.
There's definitely not something now.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably no different than if there was like an indoor like wave pool kind of thing where you could like learn
which
to
there
surf,
is,
which they did mention in the in the thing, in the hotel. He was like, yeah, there's an entire like wave pool.
Well, I think no, they're just in the regular pool.
Yeah, they have the regular pool with like
but
the water
say
slide.
is I don't remember where it is. It
like
might be Korea.
Stu mentions it when he's driving the RV, like in the town. Yeah.
Somewhere it might be Korea, or I'm pretty sure it's an Asian country. They have like an indoor ski like facility.
That's cool, yeah.
And it's crazy, but it's like that's all it is. You can't shove that in a casino.
No,
you know what I mean?
Do you ski?
No, every year. This is just like surfing. Every year I say this is the year I learn how to surf.
Both
right?
of these, yeah.
Every year I say I'm going to go skiing or snowboarding because I usually go to the snow once or twice. You know, every winter.
Yeah.
For us Californians, we go to the snow. The snow is not just like around.
It's not that far. It's not as far as people think.
No,
though.
it's not far.
Yeah.
Every year though, I say I'm going to do it, and then I just don't.
Yeah.
I think I would rather snowboard, even though everyone says it's more dangerous to snowboard.
I definitely have heard that. Yeah.
But I think I'd prefer snowboarding than skiing.
Would you rather surf or ski?
Surf.
Yeah, I think I'm the same.
I love. I'm very torn. I'm a big 50-50 guy when it comes to mountains or ocean because I love to climb a mountain, but I love to be in the ocean.
Yeah.
So, what are you? I've never really talked to you much about being like a beach guy or a mountain guy.
I'm more of a mountain guy.
Mountain guy.
But I think I would like to learn to surf more than I would to ski. Yeah. But I do like the mountains more.
It kind of gives you that like seal of California.
Yeah. No, I'm like an East Coast guy, so the snow is something I really like, and you don't get a lot of that out here, obviously, except for that one day when it snowed.
Yep.
Like out in the hills or whatever. But yeah, so skiing, wave pools, big Viking boats, all of these things are portrayed in this Rugrats special. Just like in any Rugrats episode, basically, this isn't like a Pickles family vacation thing. I always love this with the Rugrats. It's just like, we just bring everybody.
Yeah, the whole gang goes.
Yeah, it's like first off, what is parking like in Vegas? Because where are they going to park this RV?
It's a nightmare, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's like
it's a nightmare and it's expensive.
All right, Stu pulls up with this RV and it's just like, oh yeah, I'm going to drive these like 8 adults and 5 children.
Yeah, how many are there?
To Vegas? Well, there's
2.
There's 8 adults, yeah, because there's Stu and Dee Dee. There's
7, right?
No, because Grandpa's there too.
Yeah,
it's Stu and Dee Dee.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Tommy's mom and dad.
Yeah, I know. I forgot.
Angelica's mom
Charles,
and dad. Chucky's dad.
Yeah.
Phil and Lil's mom and dad, and Grandpa.
I forgot
character?
Charles was there.
That's rude.
I know.
That's rude.
He doesn't get a lot of FaceTime in this episode.
Nah, most people don't.
Most of the adults don't.
For the adults, it's a Stu episode.
Yeah, 100%,
which is
we
great.
love.
Yeah,
we love
Stu. Yeah. Stu's the best. It's always really funny to me. Like something that they reference in this is they all go on vacation together, and it feels like they all just bring everybody so that somebody else can watch the kids. Yeah. It's just like, all right, who we dumping the kids on today? And in this one, all the wives are like, yeah, we're out. We're gonna go do whatever we want to do all day, and then all the dads are in the pool, and Stu gets stuck watching all the kids all day, and that's just asking one single parent to watch these 5 children who. Maybe they don't recognize this, but as viewers, we know get into some
I was
wacky
gonna say,
situations.
like notoriously are just constantly.
And one of them's Angelica.
Yeah,
so that's already enough.
That's enough for one adult.
There's a reason that Angelica's parents only have one child.
Yeah.
I know there was an episode where they thought they were gonna have another one, but there's a reason they only have one because she's enough.
Yeah,
she's enough to deal with. But it's just really funny to me. Another thing that's funny about the Rugrat parents. Like everybody knows the babies. Like we don't even have to spend that much time talking about the babies. But the parents, do you know how old the parents are supposed to be in
They're in like
show?
their 30s.
Isn't that weird though? It's like to think back to that.
Yeah.
Like
it's like I see that that meme go around all the time.
They're all everywhere between I think the oldest is 35 and like the youngest is like 31 or something.
I always see that meme that it's like what I thought me and my friends were going to look like when we grew up versus what me and my friends look like now or whatever. And it's literally the shot of all of them in the pool in this episode, I've seen that one, and they're all just like,
I was like, oh no, we're close to that. That's scary to think about. Yeah. Like a show that came out before I was born. I'm about to be the age of the parents.
Yeah. And it's just funny too. Like I say this about athletes all the time, and it goes the same thing for TV shows. And obviously fashion and whatnot has a huge hand in this, but when I see growing up, right? Let's pick anything. Let's say I don't know, Friends. Okay, growing up watching Friends, you look at these characters, you're like, oh, they're adults.
Yeah.
They're very grown up people or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then you get older and you realize, no, like when they started the show, they were all like early 20s.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be like if right now.
Mid-20s at most, yeah.
It'd be right now if they did Friends and it was Jenna Ortega and Timothy Chalamet and Sydney Sweeney and Millie Bobby Brown, like all these people. Like we look at them like, hey, they're younger than us, you know, like they seem young.
Yeah.
But they would be the leading stars of one of the biggest TV shows of all time. You know what I mean? And like you look back at that and it's like, I still look at those characters watching it now and I'm like, no, they're older. And it's like, no, they're 22.
Yeah,
you know?
This topic kind of bummed me out now.
Yeah. Hey, well, you know what?
Yeah. Dang.
Maybe
that's tough.
Yeah. Maybe
Let's talk about more of the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do want to know, some like, cause have you seen this before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like back when
there were definitely, it's been obviously a while, but there were a lot of moments from this that when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah.
Okay.
Like, I remember this.
So I want to talk about it, like some highlights and favorite parts of the episode for each of us, and we'll have you go first. But before we do that, I want to throw to a quick break.
Man.
So Joel, tell me, you're a fan? Are you a fan of the Rugrats?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, do you agree with me that they're Mount Rushmore?
Upper echelon.
They're
yeah,
a Mount Rushmore
absolutely.
Nickelodeon cartoon,
absolutely.
Right?
I don't know if we're gonna get into the Rushmore right now.
We don't have time for that.
But
there'll be a lock. Yeah, there'll be a time and place for that. I think if anybody doesn't have them in there, they don't understand the assignment.
They don't know.
I feel like there's 2 locks and this is one of them. But could be its own episode.
That's its own episode. Yeah. We haven't done like a draft episode on this show yet, but that might
be the first one.
Come up soon. Yeah,
that's an idea we've been floating
But is it
around,
much of a draft episode if we're both picking the same team? Because
but after you get through like the first couple, it really just becomes like who built the best Mount Rushmore.
True.
Yeah.
True. Stay tuned.
I mean, that video might be coming pretty soon.
Yeah.
We are cooking some fun behind the scenes ideas, and that is close to one of them.
Yeah, believe it or not, we're cooking.
Yeah. Stop bros cooking. Speaking of cooking, why was the buffet scene your favorite scene in the special?
Dude, I'm trying to remember what it was. So Tommy is in the pasta.
Tommy's in the pasta salad, which was just a bowl of pasta.
Who was it right before him? I'm trying to remember.
Phil was eating the pineapple.
Yeah.
Eating the pineapple with the skin on it.
That delivery of the line, Phil, you got to skin the pineapple. Like, just the way Stu says it, he's like, I don't remember the exact like line, but it's like, Phil, you have to peel the pineapple first. Like, he's just like picturing this toddler eating a pineapple. This was
the problem with Rugrats. Looking back on it now, is I would see these babies do these things, and I would just think that that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I could just eat the skin on a pineapple and be totally. That kid has like 4 teeth and he can get through it. It's not how pineapples work.
This episode also reminded me how much I love the voice acting for Lil.
That's great.
I think she's the best voice in the show.
You think so?
I love listening to all of them talk. Like, the actors did a phenomenal job of sounding like babies. Like, both in the sound of their voice, their inflection, but also the way that they, obviously the writers help them with this too or whatever, but like saying things like Slots Vegas and like stuff like that. Like,
what a fun
kitty instead of saying
writer's
cat.
room that would have been.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like that had to be so much fun to be able to like write for these, 2-year-olds or whatever.
They're 1. Chucky's 2. The twins.
Because I know Chucky's
Tommy's
the eldest.
first birthday is the first episode. So he's the eldest outside of Angelica.
Right. Well, we don't count. I don't count Angelica
is she not a core member of the Rugrats? I don't count her
as a core member of the Rugrats.
Whoa.
I do think. I know she's
Angelica
a main
side character.
I've always considered Angelica a side character.
Whoa.
Just like Susie.
No, I don't think those two are comparable. Angelica's like in almost
Why
every
not,
episode.
Ryan?
That's not a me thing. We got to talk to Nickelodeon about that. Yeah.
I get it.
That's bold.
I would not like fight someone who said Angelica is a main character.
Okay.
But when you think
I hear what you're saying.
It's like you think of Tommy, Chucky, Phil.
Yeah. She's a key part of the show, but you don't think of her as a titular Rugrat.
No.
Okay. I think that's a fair assessment.
Thanks.
I don't know if everybody.
I don't even think she's on your shirt.
No, she is.
Is she?
Or at least Cynthia is.
Cynthia, she's a really cool dancer. Cynthia.
Yeah, there she is.
Move it to the groove now.
Cynthia's on.
Yeah, Cynthia's on there.
Yeah, I don't know. Chucky's on here.
Chucky's on there.
Yeah, 2 Rugrats panels on here.
I like that.
Yeah, I love to see it.
Oh, and Reptar 3.
Reptar is on here. There's no Reptar really in this episode. No. He's like a quick mention with like a little doll early. Not enough Reptar. So the buffet scene was your favorite?
Yeah, I mean,
Of course, yeah.
it's got food.
Is that what that's what the Vegas buffets are like, though, right?
You know, I don't think I've ever gone to a Vegas buffet. I've been to casino buffets before, but not in Vegas.
Is that what they're like, though? It's like a free for all.
Yeah, it's literally just like you just go up and get whatever you want.
Yeah.
You just go and go and go and go and go.
Yeah.
Some are better than others. Like the one I've been to, Pachanga buffet was good.
Yeah.
But then you go to other casino buffets, you're like, this stuff's all kind of been sitting out for a while.
Yeah.
Like, where do you stay? We need to go too into this, but just where do you stand on buffets? Like, do you go to a hometown buffet? Do you go to a soup plantation? Or
Okay,
so
that's like a double pronged sword right there, because I wouldn't go to those places,
right?
But like a nice buffet, oh yeah, yeah.
Like when we keep talking about doing the character brunch buffet over at
That'd be awesome.
Storytellers Cafe, you know?
Are we going there after this?
Yeah. This is not a chilly situation. We're gonna go there. We can't. We drive over there and get a brunch at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Characters are all there.
Yeah.
$50 down the drain.
$50
Wouldn't be down the drain.
No. We get our money's worth.
Oh yeah. Just in the dessert.
Honestly.
Yeah. But yeah, no. I mean, as a whole, like this episode captured the like idea of Vegas fairly well. But when it starts getting into the details, is when it's like, oh. But again, it's like we talked about, like their world building. You know, they weren't trying to replicate Vegas. They were trying to give the idea of Vegas.
They were creating Vegas in their world.
Yeah, and through the eyes of a 2-year-old. You know, everything that we see in there is like massive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When you go to Vegas, yeah, some things are big, but like you see the whole episode in the perspective of these kids. You know what I mean? And so everything looks much more like grandiose than it maybe actually would be in real life versus if we were seeing it through the perspective of the parents. But like I said, it captures this kind of portrait of what Vegas feels like.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, I think that's great. One of my favorite there. So I rewatched this again today. I had watched it a couple months ago, which made me remember it. But I rewatched this again today, and there's one just very small blink and you miss it moment that I just want to put up on the screen for everybody because I hope it makes them laugh as much as I laughed. I have a couple other things to reference here since we got it's right before they go to the buffet. So I gotta make sure I find it. Let's see. Where was it? I don't remember where it was.
Podcast.
Oh, it's before they get on the. Oh, it's right before they get on the boat. That's what it is.
We're gonna keep recording.
It's right here.
Hold on, we're gonna keep
recording.
I
found it.
That's a heat warning. We should be good. We'll keep going.
Okay, I found it. Okay. Are you ready?
Say.
So there's the babies are crawling along. Watch the guy.
It just goes straight into the water.
Watch this. Oh!
I don't think I noticed that when I watched it.
That's my favorite moment from the whole episode.
Besides the buffet, can I show you my favorite moment from the whole episode? Which I don't know if you caught it because.
Go for it.
Oh, okay. I can pull it up right here.
Yeah, just pull it up.
I have it on my phone, but.
Oh, you have it saved on your phone?
I have the still pulled up my phone, but I can find it. It's very easy.
Is it something with the Siegfried and Roy?
It is during the
during the musical number?
No, it is during the. Oh, come on, it's in here somewhere. Let's see if I can't find it right now. I'll just pull it up my phone because I know I have it on my phone.
What is it like? What part is it?
Oh no, it's actually here. It's during the circus. It's during the circus.
Oh, it's during the circus. Oh, the circus part is funny. Yeah. Is it when Stu gets added to the trapeze act? Because that makes me laugh. You are struggling right now.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. We're not going to say I was struggling. You just spent 5 minutes looking for your clip.
I don't know. We'll have to check to see.
No,
who
see,
took
we're going to keep yours in and we're going to cut mine.
Oh, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking crap. Anyway, let me show you this.
Okay.
I'll just show you on my phone.
Show me, yeah.
For those of you at home, it's on the screen here. There's a gentleman at the circus wearing a Green Bay Meat Packers shirt.
That's fantastic.
And it just immediately caught my eye because I just saw Packers.
Because you want that shirt.
Yeah, I saw Packers and I was like, wait, what? And I looked and sure enough, it says Green Bay, which actually, it might not even say green. It looks like an A, like Gain.
It does look like Gain, yeah.
But it definitely says Bay Meat Packers.
I love it.
So
That's how I don't
There's
know how
that.
you call, I don't know how you call
It was literally like just I mean, I couldn't even find
That's
it
a
here.
quick,
Like
I know,
trying to
I know
skim
exactly,
through.
I know exactly what scene you're talking about.
Yeah, I was trying to skim through right here,
No,
and I
you're
still
already-
couldn't
yeah,
find
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So
it's definitely in the circus
it happens
part.
very
It's
fast.
like right when Stu gets picked up by the trapeze artist. Like I think that's exactly where it is.
But no, I mean, Rugrats as a whole has so many just fun little moments.
It's-
and just stuff like that, like you were just showing, where the guy falls in the water.
Yeah.
I think is what's so important about animation.
Yeah.
Like, not to get all like philosophical, not even philosophical is not what I'm trying to say, but like you look back at Disney, the early Disney days, right? Some of the early days of animation, it was very gag based.
Oh yeah, it's huge. It's like
And
every Goofy cartoon was that.
I think animation obviously can be a very serious art form. I think some people see animation and immediately kind of like
They discredit it.
Yeah, they say, well, it's just cartoons, right?
There are there are
Which
people that
some
feel
of them are.
Well, they all are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I think stuff like that and this very gag type humor is very smart humor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think shows that do that kind of stuff stand out. Like I
Yeah.
said, you watch the old Mickey Mouse cartoons, they're still very funny. Even the newer Mickey Mouse cartoons where the design of Mickey is kind of crazy. Like,
Yeah.
but
Not a fan.
what happens in the episodes is really funny stuff.
Well, I mean, animation can take that to another level because they can create things
Exactly.
that you can't physically do in
I mean,
live action.
people talk about, to bring up another Nickelodeon show, people talk about SpongeBob all the time, how it's like you'll be having this like funny, goofy episode, and then you have those random cuts to like a super hyper realistic close up shot of like
I hate it.
SpongeBob's face
Yeah.
or something, and it's like disturbing.
I hate
but
that's
so
a new
funny.
thing that they're doing in like
Well,
that
they were
show.
doing that back then when
the
we
Mickey,
did it.
but it's like
And
they
the-
made it grosser
yeah,
now, like
and
unappealing.
the Mickey ones do it too.
The Mickey
yeah.
ones are awful,
And-
I don't like the current style
Yeah.
they use for the Mickey Mouse characters. I know like the Runaway Railway ride is based off of it.
Yeah.
and it doesn't bother me in there, but I mean, I'm not watching those Mickey cartoons
Yeah.
anyway. But like sometimes I'll go to Grand California, I'll have them playing on a small TV for the kids, and I'll walk by and see it. It's like, it just doesn't look.
Yeah,
appealing
I
to me.
mean, I
the
don't
House
hate
of Mouse
them.
era style
100%.
of the
Yeah,
characters.
That time was
Yeah.
To me, that was prime Mickey Mouse design. That
Yeah, he
was
was
the
cooking back
perfect
then, yeah.
Mickey Mouse design. He had like a much more softer feel to him, like
Mm-hmm.
shape wise. But anyway, I see things like that, and I'm like, these people cared. You watch new episodes,
Yeah.
like you said, SpongeBob and stuff like that, and it's like it just seems like they're kind of going through the motions.
Yeah.
Versus stuff like this, like that little moment, they didn't need to add
There's
that in.
no that doesn't nobody would pitch that idea like in terms of like progressing the story.
Right.
That's like let's throw this in here.
Yeah.
It's like wouldn't it
The
be funny?
animator
If,
probably just did it.
yeah. Or wouldn't it be funny if like that's
Yeah.
it. And that's all it was
Yeah.
around the writer's table, and everybody laughed, and then they put it in there, and it was easy. Yeah, well, I mean, animation's not easy, but it was like an easy thing to throw in.
Right. It wasn't like
I was sitting there watching this at the coffee house I was chilling at, and I was just dying laughing. I had to rewound it like a bunch of times.
No, it's freaking good.
That's
It's
my
so
kind of
funny.
humor right there.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Anything else from the episode stand out? I know we kind of speed
I
ran a little
think-
bit. I'd really recommend for those of you that haven't seen it to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, it is on YouTube. Like you can watch it. It's only 30 minutes.
30
and
minutes.
this was 30 minutes with the ads. I mean, I don't want to get anybody in trouble here. This is literally a just ripped version from the VHS, which I want to talk about. The VHS is like
Yes.
the last thing we talk about.
Yeah, and then I have. Well, I think we should talk about the climax, how it all ends.
Yeah.
And then I have one other thing I want to talk about specific to this video.
Yeah.
And then we got to talk about the VHS.
There's just so many cool moments. I always like when a show that has like a particular setting goes to a new location
Yes.
because it creates
Yeah.
so many new things to do, and that's just not in cartoons. That's in anything. That's why like
when you watch a sitcom and they go somewhere
go
else,
to
you're
Disney.
like,
Yeah. It's like, oh, they're in
the Full House
Disneyland, yeah.
episodes. The, like,
yeah,
all
Boy
where
Meets
they
World
go
at
Boy
Disney
Meets
World.
Like,
Yeah, all that stuff's great. Like so it suits this show.
Shout out
as
to
well.
you, ABC.
Because a show like this almost entirely takes place inside
Yeah.
a single house in a backyard, like almost always.
I mean, then we get a movie, Rugrats in Paris. I mean, the Rugrats movie, they leave the house. Like,
Yeah,
all
that's
these times
fun,
when
yeah.
they go somewhere else, it's like it feels fresh.
Yeah.
While having that familiarity of the
Yeah.
characters.
So I enjoy all of that. I think we kind of talked about a lot of it with like what the babies get into, but I think this is what you want to touch on now, like what the main goal of the babies in this episode is, which leads into the climax and the finale.
So basically, when they're showing up, they're trying to figure out what is Slots Vegas, and Stu says It's a place where you could do whatever you want. Or how does he word it? It's specific wording that he uses.
It's like something along those lines. You can create it, make it however you want.
Yeah, maybe you do whatever you want, right? Well, Angelica sees performances. So her goal in this episode is to perform and be seen and become this star.
Yeah.
Be on stage.
Sing on stage, yeah.
And for the babies, they find out about the Siegfried and Roy knockoff, which I can't remember. Is it Heimlich and Bob?
Heimlich
and Bob.
Bob doesn't talk, which is funny.
Yeah. It was like a combination of Siegfried and Roy and Penn and Teller.
Yeah. Bob makes just noises.
But they see the tigers, and they see them in the cage, and they say, "We want to free the kitties."
The kitties, yeah.
And they get there.
They only see them on TV, so they think they're just small kitties. Because at the beginning, Tommy has a white tiger plushie that they leave on the front lawn as they're rushing into the RV. Into the RV, yeah. So that's like a nice little nod to that.
I just love Chucky going, like, Tommy, I don't think those are little kitties. And basically, I mean, do you want to run through like what happens, or?
Yeah, we could run through it. Yeah, they go through all the different things. Like they on the Viking boat, and then they go to the buffet, and then they finally get away from the parents, and then they go on they're in the circus. They steal the clown car, ride on up there, and get into the rafters of the stage, which I don't remember exactly how they got all
wild.
The way
They're
up
just there. They're just there.
How the infant child was able to get all the way up to the rafters.
Catwalk.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Well, and then I was laughing too, because what ends up getting them on the stage is they basically sneak into the props for all the magic tricks.
Yeah, where all the animals are.
They just drop in.
That's just a box.
Yeah, they just drop into these boxes that are. We just saw live animals were put into these boxes.
Yeah,
and then they just drop from the catwalk right onto those animals.
Yeah,
no big deal.
They're fine. Yeah.
So then they open up the box. They're doing their trick, and they say, "Oh, like you see, it's empty." But when we open it again, and then boom, out comes Angelica
and a rabbit,
and she starts singing.
Yeah,
she finally starts singing. And what is she singing?
So, the song that I feel like got this taken off of Paramount Plus. It's the theme of the song, and the name of the song is Vacation. Famous song titled Vacation from the Go-Go's.
Yeah,
and that the opening of the episode is played with that backtrack of the original song, and then she sings her own version of it at the end of the episode. Yeah. Which, shout out to Belinda Carlisle and the Go-Go's getting that song in there in 1997.
Yeah, love it.
I saw Belinda Carlisle in concert last year. She was like the headline for like some 80s band thing. And she did that song, even though it was just her, not the Go-Go's. So I was like, oh, yeah, that was her. And I think that's actually what reminded me of this special was that song. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Speaking of 80s bands, I didn't notice until today, because this is my first time watching Rugrats, probably as an adult. Mark Mothersbaugh is one of the composers, and he did a lot of Nickelodeon stuff, and I didn't know that. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Mark Mothersbaugh or not. He does film composition or whatever, but he was a member of Devo, the 80s band Devo.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that he had done all this work for Nickelodeon. He had done stuff for Rugrats, for Hey Arnold, like a bunch of shows, some video games and stuff
probably
like that.
Probably a lot of the Class B Cuspo stuff.
Yeah, exactly. He probably did the McDonald's.
I probably said that
I think
wrong.
It's Klasky Supo or something like that. The Supo, or however you say that one, is CSUPO. I never know how to say that one. Yeah. But it's Klasky, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
So yeah, maybe he did the music for the Ronald McDonald cartoons.
So, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. It all comes back to Grimace.
But so Angelica's on the stage. The babies get on the stage as well.
Yeah.
They eventually let the tigers out. This part I think is really funny, because they open the cage for the tigers, and the tigers literally look like they're going to murder Heimlich and Bob.
It's true.
They give them this look of like,
they open the cage, but like the parents know that they figure out that that's where they're going. Because like Angelica says something to Stu, like, "Bye, Uncle Stu. We're gonna go rescue the kitties."
Yeah.
And then they're all trying to figure out. Like, eventually, all of the parents get together. Like the dads all come together with Grandpa, who we haven't talked about his plot line in here. He's just an old man playing the casino, the penny slots, winning nickels. Yeah. That's all we need to say about him. But then like the dads figure it out, and then they can't get in, but then the moms finally come into play again, and they just
take over.
They blow right past the security guard and run right in.
Yeah, and then I love, obviously, the moms go through just fine, and the dads come in like, oh, like they're the ones who did it.
Chaz does this like,
very like smug, like whatever.
It's so funny.
But so then Heimlich and Bob get knocked into the milk vat. The tigers come out, they lick up the milk or whatever, and that's pretty much how our episode rounds out.
And the babies get to pet the tigers, and that's the end of the episode. Yeah.
Speaking of the end of the episode,
Okay.
we mentioned how we watched this on YouTube.
Oh, I forgot. I was wondering if you would bring this up. This was jarring.
I'm going to show this on the screen. This will play. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'll tag this person. I don't care. This person who uploaded this episode.
Yeah.
It goes to the credits, but it does not go to the show's credits. This person made their own credits.
Yeah, it was weird, right?
I'm
everything
gonna read it.
Everything at the beginning was off.
Yeah,
of the
it
tape.
was like previews and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Love that, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna read this as it's going, and again, it'll be on the screen too. But I'm gonna read everything that's coming up here. Okay, so they're going to pet the tigers, whatever, blah blah blah. Chucky doing his whole thing.
Just so anyone that's asking why you're not hearing the audio of this, we're trying to not get copyright.
Yeah, we're
stricken.
scared again.
Yeah,
just like we were with Disney.
Yeah. Viacom is just a rung underneath.
Right, here we go. So
Angelica says "dumb babies," and then the skunk goes across. Yeah, and then boom, here we go.
Boom, here goes the credits.
Whoa.
It is little like anime dancing people. It says Rugrats Vacation VHS Fat Dead Ice version. All clips have been sourced from multiple places. By creating this, I have sent the Rugrats on vacation. I like to give a shout out to my homies: Reggie the Mouse, Willie G, Astolfo, Niao, Princess Peach, Cat Peach, Amy Rose, Kimba the Lion, QB, Some Fat Guy, Chuck E. Cheese, Kool-Aid Man, Bubsy, Evil Peter Griffin, Eggman's Left Testicle, Shadow the Hedgehog, Cool Cat, Big the Cat, Blue Scooby-Doo, Bob the Minion, and of course, all the furry femboys.
I read none of this.
Yif Yif, Awoo, Stay Fluffy.
There's a lot going on there. It's like Klasky Cuspo.
That is how that episode. I was watching it and I was floored. I was like, "What just happened?"
Yeah,
because you hear the music, you're like, "Do do do."
Yeah, they're still playing.
Yeah,
the music,
and I was like, "What? These aren't the real credits." You got the little characters.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, I didn't read all the names around there.
No, as soon as I saw the opening thing, that first big slide just makes me laugh because it's like, by creating this, I have sent the Rugrats on vacation.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
It's a bit jarring.
But he's talking about the VHS remix, Ryan. The VHS. That's such a key part.
That's honestly the thing that is the most interesting about this is the VHS tape itself. Kids that grew up around our same time are well aware of the orange VHS. Yes. And for those of you that don't know what that is, Nickelodeon, when they would release, like, it would be like 3 to 4 episode blocks of their cartoons, or in this case, just the special. They'd release the VHS, and it would come in your standard, like, sleeve cover box, not like the ones that we have on the table here, where it's like the open up.
The shell.
Yeah, the shell. It would be a sleeve box with some cover art on it, and in it was an orange VHS tape. The orange tape is iconic.
It's huge, dude. That is such a like memorable thing as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, and the way it tasted.
I wonder, do they still do it? Like, obviously they don't make VHSs anymore, but do they do anything? They don't do anything special like that for their.
Well, I don't think they release these shows anymore. I mean, you have your like box sets of like SpongeBob, whatever, but everything's
all
streaming.
DVDs, though. Yeah.
Even the DVDs, it's just like DVDs. It'd be sick if they were orange DVDs.
It'd be cool.
You know?
I feel like they could do that.
But
the orange VHS was great.
It was, it's really kind of, and like you said, it's all the different Nickelodeon stuff. You know, I remember Rugrats in Paris.
Well, there's a bumper at the beginning of the VHS that like runs through like all the Nicktoons, and then it shows like a bunch of the tapes that they've released and all that.
That is a sick intro too.
It's great.
I love that. Yeah.
It's really cool.
And then it goes into that weird Happy Days one.
That was like crazy.
It's like, we're gonna play the Happy Days theme song and show you all of these very family friendly TV shows, and not one of them is going to be Happy Days.
The very first one, maybe
that shot of the Peanuts killed me too. Them on the escalator at the airport.
That one's funny.
The Speedwalker thing.
The very first one, I think, has such a funny name that I wanted to reference it in particular. This was so weird. Like, I don't remember this being on the tapes at all. Bugsy Malone. That's what it was. Bugsy Malone. Yeah. I saw that. I was like, Bugsy Malone? Why is there a Bugsy Malone ad?
And it's a kid's. It's like a kid Bugsy Malone.
Yeah. Like, what? Yeah. What is this?
Yeah, I don't remember that. The audience at home, let us know in the comments if you remember that.
Yeah. It was jarring.
But
the orange VHS. I think I still have a couple back home. Like, definitely the Rugrats first movie. I had a bunch of these singular like blocks of episodes tapes as well. I had a bunch of them. I think they were all Rugrats ones. I don't think I had any of the other shows, because I think like the Rugrats one was the one where my parents were like, yeah, of course, watch this. But yeah, the orange VHS is iconic. We should try and dig one of those.
I'm sure we can find one at the thrift stores.
Be
or something.
easier. Well, I mean,
I have one somewhere. But
yeah, you just don't know where it is, and I have to go to another part of the country to find mine. So, but yeah, I'm glad that the version of this that we got to watch is ripped right from the VHS because it makes it that much more special. Yeah. Even though the ending was weird.
A little weird credits.
A little weird ending, yeah.
But we take it as it is.
Yeah, we take what we can. Yeah. Paramount won't put this on the streaming service.
Paramount. Bad job by you.
Yeah, not great. They also canceled.
Josh, email Paramount.
Yeah, they also canceled that new 3D Rugrats remake that I was watching.
They also canceled their merger with Skydance.
Yeah, they did. That's right.
They said,
no, not today.
Did you hear about that? They literally emailed them like,
hey, we're out.
It was like an hour before their next meeting.
New phone, who dis?
And I can't think of her name. It's Redstone. What's her name? She basically emailed and said, yeah, no, we're out. We don't think we're going to be able to come to negotiations. We're out. And all the Skydance people were like, what?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What?
Yeah.
You know? Anyway. Is that it? I think that's it.
I think that's it, yeah.
Like you said at the beginning, this is only touching the surface of all the Nickelodeon we're probably going to talk about as we get into this show. And like you said, we're not going to, there might be a couple shows where we're like, oh, well, this episode's just going to be this show.
It's like a smaller show.
Yeah.
Like they only ran for a couple seasons. We'll probably do it all in one, but
I mean,
not this
we're going to be getting all the early Nicktoon stuff, the stuff from, the early to mid 2000s. Like that was such a key time in Nickelodeon. There's a lot of Nickelodeon on the horizon. So definitely be on the lookout for that. You have anything else to say to the folks at home before we sign off here?
I would just like to say that, like we mentioned at the top of the show, we're going through a couple of changes in terms of set. We have a couple episodes that are getting ready to shoot soon, and they wouldn't have even taken place in here, I don't think, to begin with. So we have some fun ideas on the horizon. One thing in particular we've been looking forward to doing since we've launched, and it's going to happen pretty soon here. So stay tuned for that.
I mean, to kind of piggyback on that, I mean, not that these people are hounding us or anything like that, but I'd say just, bear with us because like Ryan said, we got a lot of fun stuff that we want to try. And it's not necessarily just, hey, let's sit in a room and talk like a podcast. Like we want to make it a little bit different.
Yes.
We love doing this.
Yeah.
But also, there are some episodes that we're going to talk about where it's like kind of like the food episode, where it's like, well, let's do something more with this.
That was very ambitious of us to do very early on.
Like our first episode or whatever.
Yeah. We have a couple of ideas that either one of us has pitched, and the other one has been like, well, maybe not yet.
Yeah. Wait, back
not
off.
Yet.
Yeah. But no, there's lots of good stuff coming.
And for those of you that keep asking about the backyard baseball stream,
that is happening.
That's very close.
Yes,
to happening.
We're still working out some kinks.
We're surprisingly busy people.
Yeah. You wouldn't believe it by looking at us.
No, not really.
You'd think that we just sit around eating bonbons, but
I don't even know where to get a bonbon at this point.
Me neither.
Yeah. So we're not doing that.
We're not getting bonbons.
We do hear all of you.
We are getting chicken fries.
We do hear all of you that keep asking, when is that stream happening? We are figuring out the behind the scenes elements to that, finding the best way for the two of us to stream it together. And we should have an update on that within the next month.
I'd say so.
Yeah. But yeah, we appreciate all of you asking about the new things that we're trying to do, because that means that you're invested in what we're doing already, and we appreciate that. So thank you, everybody that's watching, for that.
Thank you, but not you, Josh.
No, Josh, this would be a lot easier if Josh did his job better, to be perfectly honest.
He said it, not me.
Yeah, Josh will be in one of the episodes soon. So
we'll get him on, yeah.
We'll
do you want to be on?
Yeah.
He said yes. He nodded yes.
Well, one of us will have to take over camera then at some point. He can't.
Maybe we'll get another person.
He can't host. Yeah, Josh can't host.
Probably not.
No.
We'll see.
We'll figure it out.
All right. Well, do nice things to us on all the socials. You know where to find us at Mind Rewind Pod.
Be on the lookout for some other socials as well.
There's going to be some new stuff coming up.
Again, with behind the scenes things, there's some stuff that I've been working on that should be, and you've been working on as well, that should be ready to drop here pretty soon and take us to another level of things.
Another level.
Yeah. That was pretty good. Yeah.
Bye.